This is part 2 of how to create your events for your own public school in ESCworks. In our first screencast, we created a mail. A mail is a very generic title and has some generic information in there, and now we're actually creating the event itself, what our teachers are actually going to see on the calendar. And you're already logged in and you're on the back side and you're going to just follow the steps. So we've got to choose that mail title. One of the things that you need to understand is that there are lots and lots of mails in there. But when you get to this piece, if you will just click on that and then start typing that number. Remember in the last one I said you needed to write down that number. You're going to type that number very quickly here. And you're going to see that it should come up. And we see it located right here, pre-service workshop K-12. I'm going to click on that and that's going to put it in that title. You do not have to scroll down through there. Like I said, there are thousands and thousands of mails in that system. So if you just will remember to write that number down and then type that number in there very quickly, then you will be able to click on it and it will put it in this box right here, mail title. Once again, anything that has an asterisk beside it has to be completed. Anything that doesn't have an asterisk beside it, you have the choice of leaving it blank. So you're going to choose a facilitator, and you should, before you start creating any events, you want to make sure that you have the people on your staff that you want to use for facilitators and also as instructors. They need to be in the system, and you do that by going to user management here at the top, and you can create those people or put them in there. If there are people on staff that you've had and they've gone to workshops before, they're probably in the system. It's more along the lines of you just letting us know that we need to give them rights. And then you just give us a list of those people and we'll give them the certain rights that you want them to have. And that way you'll be able to find those. For the sake of simplicity today, I'm just going to start typing in my last name. And you see that it locates my name. And I'm just going to click on that and it's going to put my name in there. So when doing that, when you get your people in there, you just want to make sure you just start typing their last name. If you have a fee, it's going to be a cost to your people, which probably most of you are not going to have a fee, and then a limit, like how many can the room hold. Maybe it's 100. Then we're just going to type that and put that in there. Notice that has an asterisk, so you must have that in there. When do you want them to be able to register for that workshop? It's going to default by the current day, so I'm just going to select that. How many hours is it going to be? Total hours. You're going to have a choice to break that out in a little bit. And then if it's a breakout conference, a breakout session for a conference, then you can choose that. Like I said before in the mails, that's a little bit tricky in order to make that happen, but it is possible. Next, you're going to choose an instructor. There again, when you click on that, it's going to bring up all of those people, and it's just like the facilitator. You are going to start typing the last name. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to add. It's just like before. If you select somebody by accident, you want to get rid of that, then you just double click, and it takes it out of the box. We're adding that. Credit and amount. This is where you're able to keep up with those specific things that teachers and administrators have to have certain number of hours. So if it was parental involvement, I could select parental involvement, select the mandatory, or put in the mandatory 2 hours and add that. And then maybe I was going to do some educational technology, and that was going to be 2 hours. And then maybe I was going to do data desegregation for 2 hours, and I'm able to add that. So then when you run reports, you're going to be able to see if your people have gotten those hours that are those rotational hours that we have to get each year. Next, you've got an evaluation. Notice it has an asterisk, so we have to decide if we're going to evaluate it or not, but you have the choice of no evaluation, or you have a choice of evaluating all sessions. I would probably recommend to evaluate it. That way you can kind of get a good idea for your PD plan, what you're planning and if it worked, you know, things like that. But for this case, we're going to say no evaluation. Comments, these are just some general registration comments that once they get that email, it's going to have a comment section. It might be a reminder that lunch is provided. It could be remember to bring your sweater. It might be bring your iPad, bring your textbooks, whatever you need them to remember to do. And then the confirmation comments, there again, once they have registered and they get that email, then down there at the bottom it's gonna have the last minute things that they need to remember. And so there again, I'm just gonna say lunch is provided, and that way they'll know not to bring a lunch that day. Down here at the bottom, you are not gonna select any of these, and you're just gonna leave those all blank, and you're gonna click next. And this next page you just want to skip, so go next. And then we're at the preview. So you've got your mail number, the title of the workshop, who's going to be the facilitator, how many, when they can start registering, and those important things like the instructor, the credit and amount, evaluation, and then comments. You're going to finish. So now it's created, and the last thing we have to do is set up the reservation. So I'm going to click on reservation, and here I'm going to leave this the same, South Central Service Cooperative, because that ties it to our calendar on the front side. So we're going to leave that alone. But I'm going to pick next, and if it's for your district, then you're going to locate your district. So I'm going to click Magnolia, and let's say we're going to start at 8:30, and we're going to go until 3:30. And then I pick the day that I want the workshop to happen. So maybe the day is June the 4th, and I'm going to add. If I clicked several days, I could tie those together. Maybe it was June the 5th as well. I could just add that in there. Require all dates. I'm going to come over here to the right, and I'm going to pick the rooms that I want. So show the rooms. And it shows all the rooms that Magnolia has put into their system. If you have other rooms that you feel like you need to add or delete, if you would get us a list of those rooms, then we can take care of that for you. So let's say it's going to take place in the Magnolia High School cafeteria, so I'm going to select that one. I need to remember to scroll back up and select reserve. Okay, down here at the bottom, it's telling you, okay, you've got it reserved for the 4th, and you've got it reserved for the 5th of June, and it has the start time and the end time. And then you're going to click done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the calendar, and I'm going to go to ESCworks, and I'm at my calendar. I need to make sure I have selected up here South Central Service Cooperative. I'm going to select the district, and there again I can just start typing. And it's going to find my district. I'm going to select it. I'm going to select the month, June 2015, and I'm going to tell it to go.